Media Tech Social, I'm Raj Katecha here at SoAmpli with the founder Maz. How you doing, Maz?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. A London-based company that's solving a problem that I think is really, really important, which is empowering employees, particularly of large organizations, to get the word out. Now, of course, many of the viewers are familiar with the concept of growth hacking, which is how can a company get exponential growth, whether it be in terms of acquiring customers or broadening its marketing, and social media is one of those platforms where such virality occurs. Why don't you tell us about where your app kind of etches its way in that whole paradigm?
Sure, absolutely. The interesting element is when we're talking to brands, we tell them that about 30 or 40% of your staff already right now, they share positive content. They're sharing experience of the product, marketing material, they're out and about with colleagues, but you're not really sure what impact they're having. If they've increased sales, if they reduce any churn, and what sentiment, if they've turned it positive or negative in that sense. And this platform helps the brand to identify their staff, to thank them that they're sharing on social, but give them good content so they come across better as the experts that they are. They build their reputation. If they have great reputation, it looks good on the brand as well.
So this is about making sure that, I mean, let's just to kind of go with the elevator pitch for this. This is a way where an employee, an organization can log into your system, see there's a bunch of social media assets there, and then hit share, and then that will then share on their Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, and they can share assets to do with marketing, recruitment, whatever. Walk me through the user process.
Absolutely. So you invite staff into this platform. As you said, you share already social-ready content, 140 characters, and they can share it. They can add their own tonality, or they can share as is. They can also bring things into this platform, suggest things that you missed, a colleague who spoke at an event, or they ran a charity that is really important. But as a brand, you always have control over what content goes out. So we do see this as an education for staff as well to share it. And the ROI from our aspect, beside the feel-good factor, beside the fact that you're thanking staff, you're increasing your reach. You go to a media buy agency, you have a social team, you have social staff, or you pay Facebook to buy that. What if through this platform, by 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, you can share good content that they can share as well, you've amplified straight away.
And so, I mean, I can think of a number of applications, but how many enterprises are you working with at the moment, and how old is your company, and what kind of traction have you developed?
Sure. We're 2.5 months young. So we just released it about 2 weeks ago. IBM selected us as a top 5 UK startup finalist. We got prizes. We're here. We are in conversation with media brands, finance, and also fashion industries who are on our platform, and they're trying it now. The phase we are is we want to turn this into basically paying clients as well. But we're lucky we have some decent names on board.
So I used to work with the branded golf industry quite a lot, and so we used to have media banks. So for TaylorMade or Nike or Adidas or Tommy Hilfiger, we'd be able to go in there, get pre-approved content, obviously download it, and then put it in our platforms like email and so on. Aside from empowering employees, how do you see it as being a media solution for a company that might have a lot of bloggers attached to them, and bloggers registering with a brand, so that all they've got to do, rather than go into the media bank and share the assets, is they can do it automatically through your platform? Do you see other vertical solutions for this?
Without a doubt. You're looking at the aspects in social. You have your internal influencers. You have external influencers. How can we get them play together? But there are many different versions, and we can look at a lot of different angles. I didn't even think about the franchisee model. And one really huge brand came on board, and he said, not all of us have the same email address, so we have these other guys. So that's really interesting, and we pivoted, and we allow a franchisee to come in and the brand to share it with them as well. We got a really exciting roadmap ahead. We're just 2.5 months young, and when we talk to brand teams in the companies, they can see that it not only improves the branding or how employees see this, they share it, they share the good experience, they're learning from it, but also the fact that they can increase reach. And please note this, that if they're paying media buy and they share it, it comes as an advertisement. This is peer-to-peer recommendation, which is a lot deeper and a lot stronger.
If, from a media and branding point of view, how would you respond to somebody who says, well, technically this is not native for the employee. Like, how do you allow the employee to take that piece of content, put their own tone of voice on it? For example, I work with a lot of clients that some people I endorse and some people I don't. And when I want to take an asset, let's say one of my clients is doing a 2-for-1 deal or a 30% off deal, sometimes I might not want to take their asset and put it out on my Facebook or social media because I've got a big following. How do I then have the ability to adapt it to my tone of voice?
Sure. I believe in value exchange. And this is how we work with brands, and we tell them as well. There's got to be value for the employees, and how can it improve their life, their expertise, their professional life, and only then does it make sense. This is exactly why within the platform, the same tonality that you have, you can actually amend this content, but it gives you a really good basis to look at what is it that you want, what is it that as a brand you want them to say. They don't have to copy it, but if they don't have time, they can reshare as is. But if they want to write their own tonality, that's fine too. We encourage that, in fact.
What's on the roadmap? I mean, as a brand, I would be really interested in what time my employee is tweeting relative to what time that employee gets the most engagement. So for example, for me, if I was to tweet something at 5:30, that's when a lot of my followers are actively engaged. How does a brand using your platform know that the content is going out at the optimized time?
Yeah, I mean, look, everything's spot on. We have analytics elements where we can see the power of the person down to the person and what they've done and how they've shared this content and the popular content. We can measure that. We can look at the social channels. We can even see the timing of these elements so they can improve their campaign for the next one or the type of content. If I can see most of my employees are sharing with LinkedIn or Facebook, my next campaign or the type of content that I've shared can be towards that platform. They can see that straight away, and that's the beauty of it, which excites me.
And tell me about the incentives that are put in place. So there is an element of gamification here. So the more that an employee shares, the more that they can rack up points. How have you seen that executed so far?
Look, we bring about 14 years of experience in social media, running social at Ogilvy Group, at Sky, and so on. So we've done this stuff consultatively. It's not always about the money. It's about the recognition. So the mechanics are there. The leaderboard, you go up, but what they give and how they give will help the brands as well. We suggest content, and we have information that is relevant to them.
So is it necessarily that you'd have a leaderboard of staff and who is the biggest sharer of the content and then who's getting the most ROI, and does that lead to a trip to the Bahamas or days off, or what kind of recommendations are you making?
There are a lot of companies who already have different measures for the staff. If they do something, they get it. And if they're used to that, we can say bring it here as well. We are looking at activities within the platform. We are looking at how they have shared and the impact they've had. So it's a package of a combination of activities that we can measure. But what we are saying at least is we don't recommend sales information all the time, and we recommend the feel-good factor, whether it's a coupon to an event, whether it's flowers, whether it's a bottle of champagne, or simply just thank you very much.
Or even like a piece of blog content or thought leadership.
Absolutely, because if you give individuals exclusive content, you're turning them into influencers. Things that other people don't have access to, but you're giving them first. It's a nice factor.
And where was this idea born, and where are you monetarily now? Are you a funded company? What's the beginning, and where are you in terms of cash injection?
So this idea actually came out of a consultative work. We work with News Corp and with the comms director globally. And we ran this program and we suggested it. What I didn't have was the product. And I thought, you know what, this is it. So went to the basement, we wireframed it, we got angel investment, hence the product is out. What we are focusing on right now, increase the pilots who come on the platform. We give them decent free trial for them to use it. And we're working on turning them into paying clients so we can go for seed investment.
Is there any proprietary technology in the background as a barrier to entry for the business?
There are certain elements that we try to turn into that, but there's some angles of it. In a short, no, not yet, but there are angles that we're working on to turn it into that. We appreciate this is an important aspect.
All right, Maz, well, that's fantastic. All the links to this app and all of the bits and pieces that you need with regards to finding out more are going to be in the show notes, in the YouTube link, and on MediaTechSocial.com. Maz, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for checking it out, and make sure you subscribe to YouTube.com/MediaTechSocial for more.